CJ Lavender's coming to Washington.
You are Locked On Huskies, your daily podcast on the Washington Huskies, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back into a special bonus edition of the Locked On Huskies podcast. I'm Roman Tomashoff. That's Lars Hanson. He's site editor with Athlon Sports' Inside the Huskies. And today with us, we have the latest commit in Washington's 2026 class, three-star defensive back from Mater Dei High School, Mr. CJ Lavender. CJ, thank you for being with us today as we are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. So, CJ, we're just going to jump right into it today. Congratulations on your commitment to Washington. Just tell us a little bit about what went into this decision.
Yeah, so it was more so the good relationship I've built with the coaches over the past few months. I received the offer back in February, late February, and since then they've been contacting me daily. And, the whole coaching staff is really good. They remind me a lot of our coaching staff over at Mater Dei, so that played a part into my commitment and my decision as well. So, as well as my brother staying out there, like I said before, he stays out in Tacoma, so we try to get out there at least once a year. So Seattle's like really a second home for me.
That's awesome.
What was it about John Richardson? Because obviously you mentioned you got the offer in February, and we're talking to you on March 21st, making your commitment. That's a pretty quick decision, but you already been up for an unofficial visit. Just what is it about Jedd Fisch that made you so confident that he could develop you at the next level?
Right. So he reminds me a lot of my father, actually. So his off the field traits, I got to know him a lot more on this last junior day I went on. I like what he's about. He tells you the real. A lot of coaches don't like to tell you the real and keep it true. So I really trust in him and taking my game to the next level.
So you're going to be playing safety a little bit when you get up here. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. They said they like my versatility, so they want me to play really everywhere.
That's good to know because that's how we saw is a little bit of safety, maybe some nickel a little bit. So growing up in Southern California, like I did as well, I'm from LA myself, watching Taylor Mays. I'm sure that's something that you did a little bit over the course of your life, having a guy like that who is not just from the Seattle area, but somebody who played safety at such a high level, having somebody like that in your room. How did that impact your decision? And maybe what's your relationship like with him?
It made a great impact on my decision. He was up at USC. I was getting recruited by him over at USC. He made the switch over to Seattle. He's one of my favorite players to watch. He's probably one of the best to ever do it at safety. So, I was just watching his film earlier yesterday. I sent him over something. So, yeah, I have a really good relationship with him. He's a great guy as well. And I just trust in the whole defensive staff and taking my game to the next level.
What was it like being up there? You had, I think, 3-4 dozen guys up on that junior day visit, just being around all that talent and seeing so many other guys like, wow, like Washington's really seeming to be a destination now under Coach Jedd Fisch. Just take us through kind of as a recruit. What was that weekend like? What did you get to see? So obviously, I'm assuming you talked to Dasher, Marcus Harris at some point.
Yeah, I got to see my guys. I spent some time with them. It was probably the best junior day I've been a part of so far. Definitely. We had a lot of top names up there, a lot of guys that I know from Southern California. Washington is over there building something special, starting with the 26 class, and I want to be a part of it. So, yes, sir.
So when you see all those other top guys, you kind of, obviously where you make your commitment now on March 21st, you look at a lot of those other guys and you trying to now just get a whole bunch of them to come be a part of it with you too.
Yes, sir. That's what we're doing.
We're going to hear more from CJ right after the break, because we've got a message from our friends over at Nissan. We're all about the stats because numbers don't lie. And when it comes to the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X, the numbers are on an MVP level with the ability to tow up to 8,500 pounds and can quite literally carry the whole team, plus the gear wherever you need to go. It's powered by a twin-turbo V6 engine, delivering the strength and performance to handle highways, back roads, and everything in between. And with room for up to 8 people, the Armada Pro 4X is built for big crews, big adventures, and even bigger memories. Whether you're exploring off-road trails or rolling up to the arena, the Armada Pro 4X brings power, versatility, and style wherever you go. Take your adventures to new heights in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Learn more at nissanusa.com.
So, CJ, did you have a prior relationship with Ksani Jackson at all? Or Ksani Jiles? Because I know he, at one point, was from California, obviously now plays at IMG, but how
Yeah.
much did you get to talk to him? Because when I got to talk to him, he's like, I'll start this Cali way. And we heard, some tea leaves, some, behind the scenes stuff that, you were going to be a part of that. So just what is it about this Cali wave? And have you seen Jedd Fisch's Cali dog shoes? Any thoughts on those?
Yeah, I seen those. Those are fire. It's a lot of Coast dudes out there. So, and we're starting to get that Mater Dei pipeline as well. With me committing and everything, we're gonna try to get a few of our younger guys. So yeah, Giles is one of my guys. I've known him since we were about 8 years old. He ended up moving out to Florida to go to IMG. So, I stay in contact with him. He just texted me not too long ago saying he's proud to be able to play with me. So,
Were there any of those other of those guys? Because you talked about the Mater Dei pipeline. I'd love to hear more about your relationship with Dash, with Marcus, with some of those other guys. But also, when you look at this 2026 class, who were you might have been on campus with for junior day, or that Washington is also trying to recruit, that you might, now that you're committed, might pick up the phone and say, "Hey, let's do this."
right. Some names to throw out there is Joshua Holland over at St. John Bosco, as well as Daniel Odom and Madden Williams. Those are guys that, I stay in contact with and let them know it would be amazing to be able to play with them.
Awesome. And now with Ryan Walters being the DC defensive background, how much did you get to know about him? And kind of how much did he play a role? Because I know Jay Rich and Taylor Manners are obviously going to be, more hands-on daily with you. What was it about Ryan Walters that made you feel like you could thrive in his scheme?
Just the way he sets guys up to make plays. On the front, he'll give guys one-on-ones, make them win their one-on-ones, as well as in the back end. So the front translates to the back end and creates big plays for us in the secondary. So he's a great defensive coordinator. He's had a good past at coaching, and I really trust him. That whole defensive staff and taking me to the next level for sure.
So, CJ, you mentioned your versatility as a big part of why Washington liked just your film and everything. So, for people who haven't seen your film, it's a two-part question here. First of all, how would you describe yourself in what Washington fans are getting with you as a player? And then second, what do you think is next in terms of your development for your senior year?
Yeah, so Husky Nation, y'all are getting a game changer for sure. I'm a technician before anything. That's what I really key on is my technique, and as well as just going all out for all 4 quarters. I'm on 10 like the whole game. So it doesn't matter if it's late in the 4th quarter, I'm still trying to make plays. I'm sorry, what was the second part of the question?
The second part was, now that you're committed, you've got your next destination in mind. We know one thing that this coaching staff likes to do is put particular plans in place for guys to make sure that they, develop on a certain track over the course of their senior season. What's that plan like for you before you end up enrolling?
Right. So I'm thinking about I'm going to be a early grad. So I'm getting all that done and situated as far as school goes. But for me in the off season and going throughout the senior season, I'm trying to get as big as possible. My goal is to get up to at least 185 before I get up to Washington, and get my speed up as well as my strength.
Is there anybody that you mold your game after? Because I know we were kind of deciding, we had a show I think a week or two ago where I was like, Elijah Molden, we thinking Trent McDuffie, because guys that can play inside and outside, a little bit of safety, a little bit of both. So is there anybody, maybe 2 or 3 players that you pick your game after?
Right. I definitely watch a lot of Trent McDuffie, a lot of Cam Chancellor, and Brian Dawkins. Those are my 3 favorites to watch.
That's all. Brian Dawkins. I feel like, he kind of gets lost, which is, it's so disappointing because he's such a fun player. That's awesome. CJ, we got a little bit more with you right after one more break.
Okay.
Right after a message from our friends over at 5 Hour Energy. Daylight savings snuck up on us again, and if you're feeling that lost hour of sleep, 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need a little boost to power through. Whether you're staying up late, watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in a round of golf after work, or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5 Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it with longer days. I love getting outside for a hike or a run, and Tropical Burst is my go-to for a quick boost. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Grab a 5-Hour Energy at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized.
Yeah, so just kind of building off of that, do you see yourself more as a safety? Because I think Rivals has you as a corner. The networks have you all over the place. Do you identify yourself as one more, or is it kind of like what Jay Rich sees, where it's just an overarching defensive back, and we'll sort out the specifics when you get here?
Right. Yeah, that's more so how I see myself. I believe I can excel at any position as far as safety, nickel, and corner. My personal favorite is probably safety, free safety, strong safety, because I'm able to roam around and be free and really make plays everywhere on the field. But, at times I like to get up and personal and play some man. So, yeah, I really see myself wherever I can get in and fit in. That's where I see myself.
So you play in the Trinity League. Obviously, it needs no introduction. Everybody who watches recruiting knows how tough the Trinity League is to play in. Now you're heading into the Big Ten, a big physical conference where, you talk about making it personal in man coverage. You're going to have to come down and hit a lot. Do you feel like that's one of the strengths of your game? Because on film, it seems like you love to just fly downhill and attack ball carriers.
Yes, sir. Like I said, I watch a lot of Brian Dawkins, so he plays with relentless effort, and he be flying at people. So I kind of try to model my game after him. Wherever I see the ball, I'm just attacking, really. So I love contact. I'm a physical safety corner. So, yes, sir. That's definitely me.
So if you had to ascribe or kind of put into words what Washington fans should expect from this 2026 class, now that you're obviously in the boat, you can speak more freely about it. What would you say to Washington fans to expect for this 2026 class?
That we're building something very special, starting with the 26 class. I see us actually winning a national championship in the near future if we get the pieces, the right guys in the building. They already have the right guys as far as the coaching staff and the people already up there. And, yeah, I think we could win a national championship.
So I love that. I don't have any other football follow-ups because that was just such a perfect answer. I do want to ask one off-topic question that's very important to me personally. CJ, you talked about your brother being from Tacoma and everything. What are some of your favorite local spots whenever you come up to Seattle, whether it be, somewhere to eat, a place to explore, anything like that just really interests you?
Yeah, so there's actually I love seafood. So me and my brother just hit up different seafood spots out in Tacoma by his house. I enjoy fishing, camping, all the outdoors. So as well as shooting. So we just go up to random spots really whenever I'm out there.
Awesome. You're gonna fit in right here then. That's all I got. Lars, what do you have?
Do you go up to Tahuya at all?
Yeah, I have been there actually.
Yes. Okay.
All right, we already got ourselves a native Washingtonian. This is perfect.
So, were there any guys aside from the Mater Dei guys that you already knew on the team that when you came up to visit? And when you come up for your official visit in late May, early June, what are you looking to see and get done now that you're going to be committed when you come up on that visit?
Yeah, so I actually knew Raheem Wright, the safety that came out of Rancho, because I'm actually I live in the IE right now. And that's a guy from the IE, came from Rancho. So I used to go up to his games and watch his games and everything. So he's really the only guy I knew up there.
And so now that we got one Mater Dei defensive guy committed, what should Washington fans know or expect about Shaun Scott? Edge rusher, linebacker. Just gotta give us a little insight about him.
Shaun Scott is actually a guy that I carpool with every day. So that's one of my dogs. He's a great guy off the field as well as on the field. He's a hard worker in the weight room, in the classroom. So I pick up a lot off of him, and we kind of help each other. So that's also a guy we're trying to get in that 26 class, and I think we can make him a dog.
CJ, this has been absolutely fantastic. Again, thank you so much and congrats on your commitment. Lars, as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank all everydayers tuning in. And for all the special bonus content, interviews like this with players like CJ, other recruits, other commits, all that sort of stuff, make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcast, whether that's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. We're there. We're everywhere, updating this channel with new content every single day. So make sure you click that like button, click that little bell so you never miss when we post a new video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them right down below in the comment section. And if you're audio only, please leave us 5-star reviews. It does help us out a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you on Monday.